Hello, hi, and welcome to Empathic Fire. I'm your reader, Jay. Whoa! These are going to be general messages for the sign of Scorpio in mid-July 2019. What came out for you guys? Ada Gabriel. Talkie, talkie, talkie. Talkie, talkie. Talkie, talkie, talkie. Ooh, Scorpio, I sang to you. I'm sorry. That was probably, like, horrendous. So some of you might be in quick communication somewhere in your life, you know, picking up the phone, calling somebody, picking up the phone, sending them a text, sending them an email, or you're just in this back and forth between you and somebody. Usually it's positive communication, but considering we're in this Mercury retrograde and a super duper retrograde of other planets, it might not be the best type of conversations that you're having or exchanges with people, but there is this open frequency between you and other people, okay? But that's, you know, just one card in the pre-shuffle. Who knows if that's going to come out in the reading? Anyway, Scorpio, how are you? How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Oh, boy. Well, mid-July, aka like almost August, I intended to get most of these readings out last week, but, you know, I'm a busy person. I work full-time. Sometimes I work overtimes. You know, I got personals as well. I got things to do. So I apologize for how late this is, but time is fluid. Is it a true construct or a true part of existence, or is it something that humans have labeled and like put like time zones on and all that kind of stuff? I don't know. But anyway, here I am, mid-July, however you want to call it. Shuffled off camera. That's your main spread there, Scorpio. We'll shuffle on camera now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that is when the reading begins. You can look in the description box below for the timestamp if you want to jump ahead. You can also look down in the description box and find all the information you need about getting a personal reading with me if you want to do that. And it's pretty simple, the steps and the outline of it, but if you have any questions about what's down there, you can feel free to email me at the exact same address, and I will answer your question post-haste. Alright guys, let's get an outcome, shall we? Let me see outcome for mid-July for Scorpio, please. I want Scorpio's outcome for mid-July 2019, please show me. There it goes. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. And that goes there. Let's flip everything that came face down and figure out what's going on. Jeez. I say oh geez because there's been a ton of major arcanas. I don't think there's been one reading where there hasn't been at least one major arcana in the main spread. And many, if not the majority, of the readings have had 3 major arcanas in the main spread. So that's kind of interesting. Anyway, let's figure out what's going on with you, shall we? Alright, please show me where Scorpio is in mid-July 2019. Please show me Scorpio in mid-July 2019. Please show me. Okay, whew, nice. Finally, like it was like bouncing around. It could have been any of these, and then it was like pow, that one. I was like, okay. All right, Scorpio, coming in to your mid-July reading or early August, whatever you want to call it. You have Divine Guidance, Major Arcana, card number 5, aka the Hierophant. The search for meaning in life. Consider an alternative approach. Surround yourself with wise teachers or friends. This guy has come out a lot in the mid-July reading, so Taurus or Taurian energy is very important right now, or the aspects of this card, the Hierophant, Divine Guidance, is important for many signs right now. For you, Scorpio, there's something here about some type of leadership or adherence to leadership, adherence to the status quo, in questioning that, questioning why you do things or why this is happening, or is it right to do this? Is it right to do that? Is the advice that you've been given, are the convictions that you hold, are they correct? Because convictions often come from what we're taught, right? In school, in churches, in families, in business, whatever. There's rules and regulations when we talk about divine guidance, aka, again, the Hierophant. Like, I'm feeling this card is saying some, those 3 sentences say something slightly different, but I'm really feeling this traditional tie to that Hierophant energy, which is definitely about this is how it is, tradition, this is how it is, status quo, this is how it's always been done, and these are the ways that we conduct ourselves in these spaces, in these times, in these particular relationships and circumstances, yeah? And Scorpio, you're kind of like, is that so? Is that right? Is that correct? Is this for me? Really trying to understand what those constructs mean to you and those constructs. So what am I talking about? Okay, so for example, decorum in a business, the idea of working a 9 to 5, the idea of working a 40-hour work week. Does that work for me? Getting up every morning, putting on a nice skirt and a nice blouse, putting on a dress shirt, dress pants, dress shoes, showing up to an office, all the decorum that goes with it, or the expectations of your job. You need to have this many clients on your plate at one time. You need to make this much in sales, or we need to make sure that we have this quality hit and this metric hit and that metric hit and da 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 da, and put it in a PowerPoint, put it in an Excel spreadsheet, present it to in a staff meeting, and you go over your crunch numbers here, da da da, all the things you do in your life. You're like, is it right? Is this what life is about? Is this what my life is about? They corrected me. Is this what my life is about? So less about who gives a shit, and basically who gives a shit about what other people experience. What am I experiencing? Which makes sense, or water signs are going through it in that realm. What's going on for me? Me. Which is nice, because Scorpio, Scorpio's not really that much of a selfish sign, and the water signs really would struggle to be entirely selfish. So in this retrograde period, you guys are in a selfish mode, looking out for number one, and I'm here for it, because, in my experience, water signs don't do that enough. So you're definitely looking at whatever the decorum is, business, family, your religious beliefs. There is that overtone here. I mean, for God's sakes, it looks like, a pope in a purple robe with angel wings, so there's this thing about what traditionally has worked in your life in the past, or what you've been prescribed, what you've been told should work for you, what you have signed up for previously and said, well, I'm gonna make this work, and now you're like, shit, I don't really feel it's working. Now it's all coming up under review. Okay, so what I think you are really, or why this card has come up as your starting position, is consider an alternative approach. That's it. The base of you, or the motor of this thing for you right now, Scorpio, is what could I be doing differently? Or it's what could I be doing, exactly. What could I be doing differently? Not what could other people be doing differently, or how the circumstances could change, because a lot of you have sat in that energy. I feel that previous to now, the circumstances could be different, the people could be different, the situation could be different, the time that this occurs could be different. It's like, if you have control over something, exert that control. So how I choose to employ myself, if I have choice, some people might be in a place where you don't have much choice in your employment, but if you have choice, do I need to work in this industry? Do I need to work for this company? Do I need to work in this department? Maybe it's just a matter of, an internal shift for you. Instead of working over here, I want to work in the team over there. maybe that's the shift you need. Maybe that's the change of approach or perspective that you need. But the idea of an alternative approach, I think, if outside of business, I think this is going to apply even more so to places in your life, Scorpio, dealing with family, friends, lovers, in some regards. Hold on a second, I need to sneeze. Hold on a second. Okay, I really don't like to sneeze or cough on camera. I try to catch myself as much as possible. Anyway, what was I saying? Right. Outside of business, I feel that this alternative approach, that wording there on this card is going to apply even more so to those where it's not work, it's not business, okay? There's this thing about a tradition, an expectation behind the tradition that you're really like, it doesn't sit well with you. Some of you are like really fucking angry about it, to be honest. Like 10 to 20% of you are just like, no, that's bullshit, I refuse. Others of you are like, I'm not really sure that that's exactly what I want to do with my life, or this is the exact way that I want my life to go right now. And you're a little more tentative with that rejection or that refusal or that push back against it. Others of you are like raging about it. And you know, Scorpio carries a lot of rage. Let's not lie to ourselves, okay? So, anyway, like in relationships of any type, I think many of you are coming from a space of, well, how come? Why do you think I should do this? You might be saying this to a friend or a family member or your partner or whomever you might be dating or romantically involved with or sexually involved with in some cases. Why do you think I should be this way? And they're listing down all of the bullet points, all of the rules and regulations of, well, as a woman, you should be this, as a man, you should be this, as a wife, you should be this, as a husband, you should be this, as a sister, as a brother, as a mother, as a lover, and you're just like, but really, why? And they're like, I just told you, list from A to C. A to Z. This is exactly, I just told you. And you're like, but why? But why? But why? You're questioning them, but then you're also questioning yourself at the same time. But why? But why? But why? Some, it is based on the idea of tradition. You just don't like that. Others, you're just kind of like coming from this metaphysical space or this spiritual place of, but why? But why? In the grand scheme of everything that exists in this universe, in this galaxy, in this world that we know. But why? Why as a wife am I expected to do this? Why as a husband am I expected to do that? In the grand scheme of things, what makes you think that me being born with certain genitalia, or me being born as this or that, or me growing up and becoming this means that all this other shit comes along with it? You don't, that ignores the deeper character that I am. I am more than just my gender. I'm more than just my sex. I'm more than just my anything. My age. I'm more than just a sister to you. I'm more than just a brother to you. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? I have more to my identity. Here it is. I have more to my identity than just this one note that you are basing what you want from me on. You're my daughter. Children should do this for their parents. But I'm also now a professional. I'm also now a wife to this person over here. I'm also now a mother of my own, in my own right. I'm also now this, that, and the other. I have other things that go into me being who I am. I am more than just your kid. You know what I mean? Like somebody wants you to be this one thing for them, or this combination of just a few things, and they want to push aside these other elements of who you are. And you're like, nah, bruh. Nah, sis, that's not happening. I'm not here for that. And there's an alternative approach that you want to take. You want to be identified differently, you want to be considered differently, or you just want to be able to do things your way. Okay, you know, a kid should do this for their child. Okay, that's your estimation. If I was, you know, when I'm your age and my child is as the age I am now, I would never ask them to do that. Or I would never expect them to do this. What you want from me is coming from some something on your end. It's not about children. It's about you. This is your expectation of your children, not everybody else's. You know, so that's how a lot of you, this is probably just in the example, not specifically, but in the example, this is more the fired up Scorpios who are just like, nah, bro, you're gonna have to take that shit right back where it came from, because I'm not here for it. I'm not here for that. That is not a lie, but it's just like not true in this particular situation. And you saying it's based off of, well, because of this and because of that, that's the way it is. 2 + 2 = 4, or this plus that equals this. And you're just like, that's not always the case. And especially in my experience, that's not the way. So I don't know how that applies to you specifically. I am just, really getting this family dynamic in my head right now, which is, what is expected of a daughter? What is expected of a grandparent even? You know what I mean? Some of you might be the children. You're looking at your parents like, well, as my father, you should be doing this. And your father is like, or yeah, it could be reversed. Scorpio, you could be having this. I feel actually it's more Scorpios on the other side. So, yeah, going back to it. So you could be like a parent or an adult talking to your parent and saying, well, listen, as my parent, even though I'm now in my 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever, at this point, I would expect you to do this. Or I would need. Is that how, why does it keep coming in that way? Oh. Okay, that's how it's coming in. Like, they're saying to you, if you're their child, daughters and sons should do this. And you're looking at your watch, you're looking at the totality of your life, Scorpio, and you're like, well, I'm fucking 50 years old. And you're 70 whatever or 80 whatever years old. And I would expect that at this point in our relationship, you as the parent would do this. So you kind of volley it back at them. You kind of shoot it back over the net to them. And it's like, well, here you want to hit me with your expectations, what you think I should be doing. Here's what I think you should be doing. You should be minding your own goddamn business, or you should be respecting me more, or you should be blah, 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 blah more with me. You know what I mean? So there's this tension that I'm trying to illustrate with this specific example. So pull out what you need to and apply it where it needs to go. But there's this tension between what somebody else's expectations are on you and then what you in turn would say, but that doesn't make sense considering the specifics, the age that I am now, the other roles I play in my life, my own convictions, my own sensibilities, my own sentiments and worldview, and you are not considering that. So to throw it back at you, you're not even seeing who I am now. Who you think I am is who you're talking to. Not the real me. Who you think I am is who you're talking to. That's incorrect. So, that's kind of dicey. That's kind of tense. I'm sorry. And oh my God, I'm just now remembering what flopped out in the pre-shuffle. That 8 of Gabriel, that 8 of Wands. Oh yes, that back and forth, heated debate, that back and forth about discrepancies and everybody saying their point. Oh my God, yes, here we go. So that makes sense. Oh, what's happening elsewhere? Okay, so you're on it. Yes. Yep, you're on it. You're on it. Thank you. Ace of Michael, aka Ace of Swords. A wonderful new idea. Don't allow bumps in the road to hinder your progress. Clear up communication problems with others. So that last one, clear up communication problems with others. Hello. I think the way I've kind of monologued it, but sort of dialogued it, just sitting here, what I was channeling, is kind of what it is. It's reached like this boiling point or this tipping point for many of you. Back and forth, passive aggressive, snide comments, snide criticisms coming your way. And a lot of times, Scorpio, you'll eat it. You will eat it in silence and take somebody just hammering down on you, or take somebody nitpicking at you, or take somebody having something to say about something you've done or something you have said. And you're just like, for the moment, let me just, I don't want to let this out. Not in a vengeful way. It's more of like, it's just going to escalate. It's just going to make it worse. So let me just go ahead and swallow it, do what they asked me to do, fulfill my duty as this person in their lives, and I'm just going to roll with it. But I feel that it has really built up in you. Maybe you could have released it earlier. I don't know. But it's really like taking a toll on you, and you've just like kind of had it. And the Ace of Michael, the Ace of Swords, can be a brutal, weapon which you wield, which is your communication, which is your tongue, which is the way that you express yourself. As a Scorpio, that little stinger on your bottom, you use it. You use it in your communication. Trust, I know. So some of you are really letting that stinger pop off, and you're really not apologetic about it because it truly is coming from a very truthful and honest place within yourself. I am now this. I don't believe in that anymore. You're coming from some old school, status quo, traditional shit that I'm just not here for. And I'm not doing it as an anarchist. I'm not doing it to upset the apple cart. I'm just letting you know that in my house, in my life, that doesn't fly. It does not apply. Therefore, shut up. Or therefore, no. Or therefore, I'll do it this time, but next time, forget about it. There's all this but. Yes, but. Yeah, okay, but. Because you're really articulating your point, Scorpio, that I am who I am. You are who you are. These things don't necessarily have to align, and neither of us has to sort of, run the show here. Some of you feel that someone is trying to control you, manipulate you, guilt you. In other cases, someone is trying to embarrass you, trying to make you feel less than, and you're just like through the roof about it because, I hate to be all hokey and like, sort of cliche, but a lot of you are finally seeing your value, or you're finally understanding what your values are, and you're not wanting to buckle, basically. Like I said, many Scorpios are coming from this place of I've taken it. I've taken the blows, I've taken the criticisms, I've taken your, smart ass comments for far too long. And now that I've begun to stick up for myself, or now that I've begun to say, you know what, when you address me this way, or when you ask me these things, or when you make these demands on me, it makes me feel like this. Someone looks at you and is just like, well, of course that's what I think, or of course that's how it is, because Scorpio, you are this to me, or you are this in that situation, therefore it's okay. And you're like, it's not okay, John. John? Maybe some of you are dealing with John. It's not okay, John. It's not okay, Barbara. It's not okay, Anthony. It's not okay, Antoinette or whoever. It doesn't matter. There's not a new normal, because Scorpio, at this point, you're not really interested in what's normal. You're interested in what's fair. You're interested in what... Put this down. Thank you. This is going to sound weird, but you're really interested in what's going to set you free. Because I feel like, just like that's really what they're looking at it, but I'm feeling it in such a deeper way. Like, look at the Divine Guidance card and then look at the Ace of Michael. Both, angels, every person in this deck, well, almost everybody is going to be represented as an angel figure. But this one here, indoors, heavily cloaked, like that cloak goes from, the neck down to the ankles, no exposed limbs, very contained. Ace of Michael, outside, mountaintop. I don't know, it's not a skirt. I don't know what that is, but it's sort of like the old Roman gear, like Roman wardrobe or wear, whatever. A lot freer, wielding a weapon. So a lot more intense energy, intentful energy. So there's just like a stark difference between what you come from or where you come from, who you used to be, who people, again, someone's thinking and talking to you as if they know a previous version of you, and that's all they care about. There's this new aspect to you. There's an evolved personality or an evolved position in your life that you hold. Again, as a daughter, a son, whomever. I'm not 5, I'm not 10, I'm not 18, I'm fucking 45 years old. Why do you talk to me this way? Why do you think this is just an acceptable thing that you can demand of me as an adult? As a person who has children of their own, as a person who owns their own home, as a person who does this, that, and the other. I am an adult, same as you're as an adult, but someone here is thinking you are some previous version of yourself. A lot of this is, in my mind, coming down to parent and child dynamics. adult children and adult parents, and then by extension the grandchildren maybe, or cousins, nieces and nephews a little bit, but there's like this idea of hierarchy, and Scorpio's not with it. Scorpio is not with it right now. Don't think, and you can then filter that back into the workplace. You know, just because you're my boss doesn't mean you talk to me like I'm some slave to you, or I'm someone who's subjugated to you. This is not some old royal court shit. This is a job. You know? It's kind of like some of y'all are, and I don't really, anyway, some of y'all are like throwing this line in your head, or you're hearing this line in your head, like from Beyonce, Irreplaceable. You must not know about me. You must not know about me. I can have another you in a minute. Matter of fact, he'll be here in a minute. I can have another job. I can have another boss. I can have another way of finding income. So why do you treat me this way? Because probably the person thinks the same to you. I can replace you too. So there's like this mutual thing in that case where both people are like, you think you're greater value in my life than you really are. Or you think your position in my life has a lot more impact than it really does to me. Like, so firing that 8 of Gabriel, that 8 of Wands again. So Ace of Michael, new ideas. The new idea is like, I think, a revelation. It's not a new idea creatively, I don't think. I think you're having this revelation. A lot of you are having this like wake up call as to who you are, or who you want to be, or how you want to be treated, how you want to be communicated with, how. And again, I told you earlier, I will repeat it. The water signs, I've done Cancer and Pisces already. You guys are about yourselves right now. This retrograde has turned that spotlight in on you, and you are looking yourself up and down in the stark white light of a floodlight, no clothes, so naked, so open, so vulnerable to yourself. Nobody else knows. Okay, and that's the thing, unless the only people who know are the other tarot readers and other people in this space. But most people in your day-to-day, they don't even know this is going on. But water signs have been going through the inventory of themselves and saying, hey, I just don't like when people talk to me this way. I don't like when people treat me this way. I don't appreciate these demands that person makes on me because of this, that, and the other that they think I am, and I am not. I am too through with putting up with that. And so there's a fight back and the pushback on that. And the new idea is, Scorpio, stand up for yourself. You know, maybe that's the new idea. Instead of taking it on and letting people sort of just pile all their bullshit onto you and just like dump all their aggression onto you, or dump all their passive aggressiveness onto you, you're just like, hold up, I am not a refuge. I am not a wasteland. I am not a quarry. You're not going to just put all that on me. Save it for yourself. Take it back. Yeah? Perfect. Take it back. Card number 1, the Magician. You can manifest the life you want. What you need will magically appear. Successful beginnings. Great. So, Major Arcana, or secondary Major Arcana card for the Magician is... Shit, I'm gonna blank. Gemini and Virgo. There it is. Some of you might be dealing with Gemini and Virgo, but you don't have to be. Creation. The Magician is able to create a reality that suits him. I suppose in a very abstract way, it seems like magic, but we don't live in a world where, you know, tangible magic exists, or at least not in a very obvious way. So this is going to come through because you do put in effort, because you do put in work, and then afterwards, or somehow at some point, it's going to seem serendipitous. It's going to seem as if it came overnight. And it's like, no, really, bitch, you were working on it the whole time. But it's going to feel that way, or it's going to look that way to other people. So like I said, some of you must not know about me. I can have another you in a minute. Blah, blah, blah. Peace, I'm out. Or get the hell out. You're out. That whole transition in your job, or transition to another department, totally leaving a job and moving to another job, it's going to seem like, oh my God, Scorpio, that was magic. And you're like, no, I applied. I wrote up a good resume and I applied myself. what are you talking about? So it's going to seem like magic probably to other people. For some, it might seem like magic to yourselves because you may not believe it can work. You might not believe that you're going to see yourself out of a situation, or you're going to see a situation improve, or you're going to see someone react and take on your pushback. Some of you, let me go back here just for a second. That divine guidance, aka the Hierophant, is quite a pickle of a person. If it is a single person, parent, family member, lover, doesn't matter. Boss, it does not matter. They're a pickle of a person because they're tough. They have this institution behind them, the business, of their family members. Yeah, they have this structure behind them, this hierarchy and tradition, values, status quo. They have all that behind them. They've got a punch. They've got pow to their punch. Yeah. So it's probably going to seem really out of the blue to them if you change the situation in some way. It's going to seem out of the blue if you start to speak up for yourself in the middle of a meeting, in the middle of a family dinner, in the middle of a passive-aggressive text chain where people, I've heard of this. I haven't experienced it myself, but I've heard of this where people will have a text chain, family, friends, does not matter. And you talk about a person and maybe you forget they're there, or you just don't care that they're there and you sort of talk shit about them, or you kind of pick on them a little bit. And I'm getting that. Some of you are just like, hey, I'm in this goddamn text chain and I see what you're saying about me, and that's da 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 da. And then you push back and people are like, oh, Scorpio. And you're just like, yeah, I'm a person. What are you talking about? Why are you treating me this way? Come on. Where are we? We're not in a playground. Okay? We're not on what do you think this is? A game, bro? Get out of here. So there's this idea that this person is not expecting you to do anything, or expecting your situation or your circumstances or your perspective to change. And so you hit them with this magician. Boom, I changed it up. I changed myself. I changed how I act. I changed how I behave. I changed how I talk. Or I moved the fuck out. Or I moved on to a different thing. I don't work for you anymore, Tom. I work over there for Bella. You're like, huh? Yeah, I moved departments. I didn't know. Scorpio, why did you do? I thought we were having a good time. You were great on this team. You're like, yeah, okay, Tom, bye. Some of you are not even giving this person the time of day to even explain. And that's the part of the magician, right? Or the idea of magic is you do the trick and people are like, what? How'd you do that? And the thing about the magician, you never reveal your secret. So by the time it hits this person, you're not even going to give them the time of day to even explain what happened. You're just like, I did it. I pulled it off. And they're like, what? And you're like, yeah, I'm awesome. Yeah, I have the power of creation behind me. I have the power of manifestation behind me, which of course, in this realm, comes through your hard work. You can't just get a new job just by wishing upon it. You have to apply. You have to make a resume. You can't get new dynamics in your friendships, in your relationships, in your family, if you don't start to assert yourself and demand it of people and set boundaries. There we go. Boundaries. Boundaries are important here. I was like, there's some word here, some context or I don't know how you would phrase it, but there's something here that is just what do you call that? Setting boundaries. Some of you are having family drop in on you, and you're like, you should call next time. And they're like, oh, it's no big deal, Scorpio, blah, blah, blah. What's in the fridge? You're like, no, seriously, you need to call before you come over here. This is my house. I don't appreciate this. Blah, 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 blah. Next time they do it, you're like, I told you, call. You do it again, I'm changing the locks, or I'm not letting you in the house. They do it again. Knock on the door. Hey, Scorpio, it's me, your cousin, or it's me, your mother, or it's me, your brother, whoever. You don't answer. They call you. Ring. You pick up. Hello? I'm outside. Let me in. I told you. Next time, call ahead. Oh, come on, Scorpio. Come on. It's not a big deal. I told you. The next time you did this, I was not going to let you in. I would appreciate it if you took your car, backed up out my driveway, and went back to wherever the hell you came from. Scorpio, come on, and you hang up the phone and that's it. Boundaries. Seems like magic. Comes out of nowhere to this person, even though you told them, I'm about to do this. You do it, and then they're like, oh, wow. Or they're like astounded, like, oh. I wish you could see like that gif that I'm seeing in my mind of like this kid who has like this shocked O face, and he's like doing a slow cap, like oh. Like that's that person, whoever this is. I don't care who it is. They're just like, what, Scorpio? You got a backbone. And you're like, yeah, and I got a stinger too. Bang. Above, the Magician card. Card, New Beginnings. Starting a new life, finding your purpose, a forgiving and compassionate review of the past. Now, card 20. Oh yeah, this is the World card. I was like sitting here, I'm like, what is this? This is the World card, right? Yeah. Oh God, I'm having a brain fart. Did I tell you? I'm talking to you like you're actually here. That I've been kind of sick for the past 2-3 days. I've only really eaten toast and applesauce. It's really gross. So my brain isn't able to, it's slow. Card 20 it's not I feel it's the World card. I don't know why I'm like hesitating on this. I could be wrong. If I am, I apologize, but my brain is having like a bit, like I feel it's above my left eye, and it's like a foggy patch. Like, I can't explain it other than that. Anyway, or it's staticky maybe. So what's the point of, not the point, but look at your trajectory. You're dealing with this dickhole over here. No offense if it's like your mom or something like that, but you're dealing with someone who's like irritating to you. My apologies. You lay some truths out on the line, or you make some internal truths to yourself. You start to lay the groundwork for the new Scorpio, the new way you're going to go forward, right? And you assert yourself, you articulate your point, and then it manifests into your reality. And then that gives birth to a new world, new beginnings, yeah? Starting a new life, yep. Finding your purpose, which again was kind of highlighted here in the beginning. The search for the meaning of life, finding your purpose. And I said something about you guys questioning, why do I do this? Or why is this my life? Or why do I behave this way in my life? So there's this wanting to understand yourself, yeah? A forgiving and compassionate review of the past. So for those irate Scorpios, you're probably not on that train. You're probably not in the mood to be compassionate or forgiving towards anybody. But ultimately, I think you will get there. For the bigger majority of the Scorpios that this will resonate with, I think that you're definitely quicker to forgive. Be compassionate is probably not, which is kind of weird. Or maybe you're like paying lip service to it. It's like saying, I forgive you, but you're not actually saying it with compassion, or you're not actually coming from a full place of understanding if you are telling someone I forgive you, or I'm able to let this situation go, or I'm able to accept, you know, it was a misunderstanding for now. Some of you are like in the back of your mind, yeah, I'm saying it, but I don't really mean that, because I know deep down you are an SOB, or I know deep down you're just saying, you know, it's like you're playing the game like they're playing the game, like you're placating each other, yeah? So I think eventually Scorpios, because, you know, Scorpio, you can hold a grudge, you're the grudge masters. I think eventually you'll get to that place of being able to forgive and be compassionate. And for those like where this has been going on for like months or years, you might already be there. But the point is, you know, Scorpio, you know you've got other things to deal with. You've got new hurdles going on in your life, or you have a new trajectory, new path in your life that you're walking on, that you have been walking on, or that you want to get on already. Because, pardon me, you know, you've got that silhouette of a family, or that silhouette of a group of people at the foot of this mountain, at the base of this mountain. And it's kind of like, you know, Scorpio, whether you're doing that by yourself or you're doing that with friends and family, or you're doing that with you and your partner, or you're doing that on your own in the job, moving from one department to another, or taking a promotion, or just moving to a new company, whatever you're doing, you know, you're sitting there going, there's going to be more hurdles. There's going to be more difficult things that I need to deal with in the future. I don't need to be stuck and saddled with these old expectations, these old traditions and status quos, these old ways of performing and being treated. That shit is beat. I'm over it. This person in my life, the way they treat me, the way they approach me, I'm over it. I'm not down for that, because there's this whole new horizon I see for myself that I want to approach. I can't approach it with this dead weight. I can't approach it with someone nagging me. I can't approach it or even begin to ascend this mountain if people around me don't think that I can accomplish it. Some of you might be, this person could be hypercritical. You know, where we come from, people just don't do things like that, Scorpio. And you're like, I don't give a damn. I want to do it. Well, where we come from, it's not prudent, it's not tradition, it's not this, it's not that. I don't care. That was then, this is now. Shut up about it. You know? It's like keep your limitations to yourself. That was kind of easy. Your outcome for mid-July, early August, whatever you want to consider, is the Queen. Yeah, Queen of Michael in reverse. I couldn't read that upside down for a second. Queen of Michael, aka Queen of Swords. Brilliant, self-reliant, insightful, humorous. You know exactly what to do. The benefit of experience. A time for your career rather than relationships. Okay. Now, the fact that it's come in reverse as an outcome. Because I will say this more times than not on my channel. When it's in the reverse, it's not necessarily the total negation or the total opposite of everything that I said or what is traditionally associated with the upright position. But in this case, let's see. One, there's a few of you, a handful, maybe less of you, who have a tendency to fly off the handle when you get too emotional, like when you let things fester for too long and you just blow up. And this is warning you, don't blow up. Or this is telling you, you will blow up, and whatever happens after that, you'll deal with it. But there's, you know, this in this particular case, for these few set of people, it's gonna get nasty. You will say nasty things will be said to you, and it's just like, ugh, it's not a look. It's not pretty, right? For the majority, though, I wish you could. What is this? Show me that. It's like a release. As an outcome, it feels like where previously there were regular confrontations, yeah, where there could have been expected flare-ups and heated debates or heated arguments, it's like a turning away from that, or a turning down of that, or just like this refusal to get involved. So I think let me kind of remember what I've been saying or feeling. Yes. So I think I've kind of been coming in waves in this reading. Like, I'm talking normally right now, but I know earlier I was going at it, and I was really hyped. And then I mellowed out. But then I got really hype again. It's like, I feel what traditionally or what regularly, what historically has been very intense in your communication and how you feel or think about a person or approach a person. I think now you have an opportunity, it's just an opportunity, to not take it that far, to pull yourself back, to restrain yourself. Because, what does it say here? The benefit of experience. You know, in this situation with these people or with that particular person, when it comes to them and you in a room talking, when it comes to you and them discussing things important to the company or things that are important to the family, it can escalate. You already know Scorpio, so why engage in that if you don't want to? If you have this new precedence in your life where you don't want drama, you don't want arguments, you don't want things to be heated and ugly in communication, you then simply change it up. Simply, by the way, simply in quotation marks, because everything that is said is easier than if it is done, right? That's a long way to say easier said than done, right? And so I feel that is there. This queen energy in reverse is basically telling you, if you want the change that you've articulated with the Ace of Michael, that you've manifested partially, if not fully, with the Magician, that comes with being discerning about how you use your communication, about how you approach certain relationships and certain circumstances, and how you involve yourself. Yeah. You know, a lot of times when the queen is in her upright, she's like, she presses her agenda too much. She puts her intentions to the forefront so strongly as to cause other people to criticize her as she asserts herself. I think there's a nice little nuanced sweet spot for you, Scorpio, if you want to avoid drama, if like that is paramount to you, that you can. You just have to kind of navigate those waters very carefully, okay? Overall energy, 3 of Raphael, aka 3 of Cups. Reasons to celebrate. A community of friends, happy announcements regarding relationships or children. 3 of Cups. Now, I'm kind of going to say the thing that I normally say. Like, the 3 of Cups isn't about third-party situations automatically just because it shows up. Because all the 3 is, to some degree or another, many readers will say, it's a third-party situation. I'm like, not always. I think this could be a third-party situation, but not in the traditional way. Like I mentioned in the beginning, something about traditional and values and status quo. And I feel that for some of you, this third-party situation is willingly being accepted. So I'm feeling for a few, not most, not even close to most, but there's someone out there who is embracing a third-party situation. Open marriage, ethically non-monogamous, swinging, non-committal to anybody. I'm dating you, I'm dating him, I'm dating her, and you both are dating me, and that's fine. And everybody's on that same page. And that's the thing about the three of Cups, and also 3 of Pentacles. But three of Cups is a lot more in unison than, say, the 3 of Swords. So whoever is involved, everybody is involved, everybody knows, everybody's okay with it. This is not sneaky snake, shh, you know, tap twice on the pipe and I'll come up. It's not that. It's really, everybody is on the same page. Everybody's aware of who is with whom. Everybody knows, everybody's cool with it to a certain degree. I'm going to say to a certain degree. Because it's still Cups, it's still emotional, and emotions are volatile. Emotions change on a dime, and somebody says they're okay with it now, but then 2 months later, they're like, listen, I kind of want it to be you and me, and let's, like, forget that third person. And Scorpio's like, but we agreed. Or that could be you later, as the fixed sign, as the, you'd be like, listen, let's make it you and me. And they're like, oh, Scorpio, you said you were okay with this. They don't know a Scorpio. Anyway, so that's for a few people. More specifically, this 3 of Raphael is about that negotiation, is about that partnership amongst many people going forward, and sort of like this embracing of what is new or copacetic, or what really is fulfilling to everybody. So basically, Scorpio, I'm feeling on the tail end of that, tail end, and there's mermaids on that card, that's kind of funny. I'm feeling on the tail end of that if you have to cut people out, you will do so, and you will replace them. Not like overnight or anything like that. But if you have certain family or certain friends who don't want to accept what you're bringing to the table, you're like, okay, fine, you don't have to, bye. Or you excuse yourself from the situation. You excuse yourself from, the family dinner. So you're just like, oh, I'm okay. You don't want that? Then I don't want to be here. And it's okay. And you will, in the future, down the line, again, on the tail end of that decision to sever, find people that are on your level, that share your sensibilities. Yeah? Family, friends, coworkers, it does not matter. there's a unison, there's a unity in that element, or in that card for you, that is needed. And if it's not needed, it's already there. You just have to tap into it and find it. Could be roommate situation, you know, you could be living at home with your family. This whole thing could have been about curfew. You're like, your parents are looking at you, you walk in the house at like 3 a.m. and your parents are like, what are you doing? You're like, I'm going to bed. You know you were supposed to be home by midnight, 1 a.m. and you're like, I'm 26. I pay bills in this house. What are you talking about? And you're like, well, children, you know, should respect their parents and all this stuff. And you're just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm out. It's cool. I appreciate you helping me. I appreciate you letting me live here with you past my, you know, 24, 18 years of life where, you know, but I'm, you know, because that's that whole, well, aren't parents supposed to support their children? Aren't parents supposed to nurture their children? Aren't parents supposed to do this? And you're just like, you're hitting me up with all these rules. So it's like this whole impasse of communication. And so you're just like, you know what? I'm taking out an ad. I need roommates. Or you know a couple people that need a third person. They're like, hey, our other roommate just moved out. And you're like, perfect. I'll be over on Saturday. I'm bringing all my shit. So it's like that. Okay? Scorpio. That's your reading for mid-July, early August, whatever the hell you want to call this. I hope you liked it. If you did, there's a like button down below. If you want to leave comments letting me know how this resonated in your life, I would love to read those. You can also share this video across your social media platforms. And of course, you can subscribe if you are not already subscribed to my channel. That would be amazing. Scorpio, I will be back very soon to do the August readings and then the mid-August after that, so on and so forth. I will also be back sometime in August doing a live. I will be going live in August, my friends. But there's a hiccup there. The live is intended for Leo. I've decided in this second year of doing birthday readings to not only do the generals, which I post towards the beginning of the zodiac birthday time period, I'm also going to do a live somewhere around the middle, maybe even towards the end a little bit, depending on timing, where I specifically take questions and do live readings for that sign. So I will be live. If you're notified and you're subscribed, you will see that I go live. You can come and join and sit in the chat, but I ultimately will be doing readings specifically for Leo. So if you want to be nosy and just sit there, have some popcorn as you listen to what people are going through, cool. Say hi, say hello, do whatever, fine. If you don't, totally cool too. But just to have a heads up, it will be live specifically for Leo, okay? All right, guys, I will be back soon. I really do appreciate you taking your time to watch this video. Take care. Bye.